Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the Azimio la Umoja leader, who also happened to be ODM party leader, Raila Odinga, in the company of Babu Owino and Janango, yesterday they made their way to Jivanji Garden for Bunge la Wananchi. And Raila said that he went to Jivanji to listen and encourage his supporters to remain vigilant of their hard-won constitutional rights, freedom of association, speech. It is key pillar of democracy in Kenya. That is what Raila Odinga is saying. And I wanted to underline the word right and the word constitutional right and freedom of association. Those two. Because people are asking, why is Raila Odinga making his way to Jivanji? Why is he back in the campaign, or what is happening? There are so many things have happened, but that could be the first key issue that took Raila Odinga to Jivanji Gardens. Constitutional right of freedom of expression. I'm saying this because I don't want to waste time, I just want to go direct. I'm saying this because I'm well aware that some time back, Raila Odinga supporters were feeling threatened. They were uncomfortable with the current regime and how things were happening toward them. They were threatened to an extent, and this I would discourage Mr. Mudavadi not to allow anyone use his name to settle political objectives, whichever way. Because there are people who went to the same ground where Raila Odinga was, and they went on an extent of threatening Raila Odinga supporters, telling them to shut down and never talk about Mr. Mudavadi. And they should know that there is a new government and they are the government. They threatened the Raila Odinga supporters on camera, openly, during daytime. In a country where we have freedom of association, you can speak your mind. But they were threatened. So, from that time, I think things have never been the same at the same place. And those people who are taking a front line to question Ruto government started going slowly. So Raila went back to assure, empower, and protect, reinforce his supporters so that they will be secured. And if there are any goons who want to come out and threaten them, they should refrain from doing so. So that, for me, it was the first reason Raila Odinga went to Dubai, to protect his supporters. I wanted to watch this video some time back and see how Raila Odinga supporters were being frustrated in the same area where Raila Odinga was yesterday. Watch this video.
Bona ni kamera kwa Prime Minister. Mzali. Sunday. Unakuja kutusi Mzali yani. Ni nani huyo?
Unatusi Mzali. Eh? Hii mambo iishe bana.
Shainiona hapa. Shainiona hapa
serikali mpya bana.
Shainiona hapa mimi.
Sio hapo matusi ya tena. Babu mimi nimekoopa,
Tutapinga Ruto hapa na tutapinga. Tumezunguka nayo hii baba. Babu mimi nakuheshimu. Ukitaka kuniua mniue. Ukitaka kuniua mimi nakuheshimu. Mimi sijuzi watu wamekuwa hapa.
We'll continue with the final discussion, but just a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you're not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give our video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, for those who got time to listen to Raila Odinga's speech, Raila went further to mention the issue of GMO seed and food being imported into this country. And already Raila Odinga has made it clear that he is against the GMO introduction in this country. For those who remember, we did several videos back, and Raila has made it clear that in 2013-2012 there, together with Kibaki, they rejected GMO food, and that's why that issue was shelved. But now William Ruto has come here to implement the GMO food, and the US is in business, of course, and Ruto has allowed himself to be a puppet for the US, because now they want business here, but this is one of the worst business in this country. I remember when COVID came, Europe said that Africa is going to lose more lives, that they are going to die like chickens. But surprisingly, it is Europe and this other country that were hit so much hard, and they died like chicken. But Africans did not die that way. Kenya was safe. Those little numbers that got to succumb to COVID, they had other complications. But if not, they could have survived. The reason is that we have been largely using organic food in Kenya. And this organic food has been part of our strong immune system, which has made us resistant to so many kinds of diseases. So when you bring GMO and people cannot afford medical care in this country, when they get sick na magonjwa na kujana na vyakula za aina hii, tell me if you're not breeding a country which will turn a miserable situation in which they cannot contain death rate in this country. No one can afford health care once you introduce this kind of genetically modified food to Kenyans. So Raila Odinga is already against this, he's protesting, and he has called his people to protest against it. That was the second point I was getting from Raila Odinga. And number 3, Raila Odinga talked about the issue of fertilizer, and he has come out to expose William Ruto's government about the free fertilizer that they received from Russia, and then they end up selling this fertilizer in the name of giving a farmer subsidy of fertilizer so that they can have enough food in short time. And for sure we ask this question, and again Raila Odinga has asked the same question. If you are giving farmers fertilizer at such a time when people have already finished planting, they have weeded, they're just waiting just maybe to do the last weeding and wait to harvest, how will this fertilizer help the farmer? When shall the farmer use this fertilizer to do the planting and harvest to have food in the garden? Kutakuwa na chakula kwa store lini tukitumia hii mbolea? Ndio maana hata wakulima walikuja wakasema, in as much Mheshimiwa Ruto anapeana mbolea, he should not dictate the price of product in this country, because Kenya is a free country where you can have your own price of product, especially kama umelima kwako mahindi, unaweza weka bei yako. So it means this thing is going to fail, and at the end of the day, they are going to welcome the GMO food into this country before they start now introducing the seed. First, it will be this food. So Raila is against that, and he has exposed the issue of this fertilizer because it will not help, and number two, they are selling so expensive to the common mwananchi. The other day we were comparing the price of fertilizer that Munya was giving in Uhuru Kenyatta's government and what William Ruto is giving in his government, and it is completely different. In fact, Uhuru Kenyatta gave a real subsidy, but Ruto is selling something that has been given free, and they need to give it free to the farmer, but now he is selling it very expensive. And because they are good on speech and lying to the people, they have convinced and confused Kenyans to believe that they are now solving their problem by bringing in affordable fertilizer to the farmer. So already Raila Odinga has exposed that. Kenyans should be aware that there is fertilizer in this country that was given for free, but the Ruto government is selling. The question is, who is benefiting from that money? Alisema akishaapishwa kitu ya kwanza itakuwa kuweka Biblia chini na kudili na cartels. Ni nani cartel wa mbolea kwa hii nchi vile tunaongea sasa hivi? Another thing that I catch up in Raila Odinga's visit there was that Raila has gone to an extent of promising to cut a certain budget for bunge la wananchi so that they can do their activity freely and also have security at large. Remember, these are people who are going to support Raila Odinga whether he's on ballot or not on ballot. It means if he's on ballot, they will work for him, and if he has another alternative, they are going to work on how Raila will instruct them. So for me, I think that is plus for ODM party and the ODM leader, because we know ODM is one of the richest party in Kenya. In fact, it is the richest, then followed by Jubilee Party. So I think ODM has enough money. They can facilitate this bunge la wananchi because they are doing an amazing job to maintain and run Raila Odinga narrative on the ground so that people will keep on having the agenda of Raila in their mind. You know, being a politician and selling agenda is not easy thing. But if you have enough resources, you can sustain to sell your agenda. Because I know this is one of the things that failed Wajakoya. When he came with the issue of marijuana and other things, the issue was that sustaining that narrative, he needed resources to sell it. But you see, people who are buying into it, then with the time they started giving up on it because you could no longer convince since they don't have enough resource to sell that agenda. So Raila is going to facilitate his team because now seemingly this is his group working for him, and when they are well protected and have the resources, they can still maintain and run Raila Odinga agenda on the ground. So as well as speaking now, I know these guys have been protected and their activities on ground will be taken serious, and seemingly it is one of the branch of Raila. We can say it's an extension of Raila Odinga leadership, of course, even if it is an Azimio or ODM or what. It will be seen as an extension of Raila Odinga. So when you want to go and attack them, you need to prepare also. And another thing that I can say from this is that Kalonzo Musyoka should now prepare himself properly and be aware that there is possibility Raila Odinga will be on ballot. Kalonzo Musyoka should be aware. If he's not aware, seemingly Raila is going to be on ballot in 2027. And either he will be this ballot with either Martha Karua, if not Martha Karua, it will be Joho, and if not Joho, it will be Oparanya. Because I know Kalonzo will not deputize him. So in as much as you want to play the opposition politics, I've seen him, he's doing a good job, but he should be well informed that Papa will be on the ballot. See you in our next video, and let us meet in the comment section. Thank you.